Hi guys, so this is going to be my 37-week update. 3 weeks to go until, I call it the estimated arrival due date because, well, as one of my girlfriends is going through right now, she was due last Friday and still has not had her baby. So, yeah, I mean, due date, schmoo date, not probably going to happen, but I think they say 3% of babies are actually born on their due date. Interesting fact. So, here we are, 37 weeks. We're going to talk about the baby a little bit. We'll do my symptoms. I did get a humidifier this week that I kind of want to show you guys because it's great. And if you have the couple $100 to spare or you find it on eBay like we did, used, you really need to do it because it's fantastic. And then as you can tell, I'm on a different camera this week. So I bought a camcorder and I'll talk a little bit about it. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it yet or not. I don't like how you can see every detail on my face. So you'll probably see every detail on my belly too this week. Okay, so let's start with the baby. We have a full-term baby on board. I feel like I should have a little sign, like one of those little caution signs like people have in their cars, baby on board, full-term baby. She's ready to go whenever she's ready. She could just, like, tonight, like, I could be in the middle of my video. I doubt it, but we want to keep her in there a couple more weeks just because I have some stuff to finish up at work. They are about 6.5 pounds this week. They do say that boys tend to be a little heavier, so makes sense. They like to eat. The baby does grow about a ½ ounce per day. So, yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. So, yeah, ½ ounce. Oh, my poor girlfriend. I feel so bad for her. She's going to have an induction next week, so good luck, Rebecca. I feel really bad. Couple of things the baby's doing this week. They are practicing, since they are pretty much developed, they're practicing like how to inhale and exhale, and yeah, they're just, I mean, inhaling, exhaling the amniotic fluid, obviously. She gets the hiccups all the time, and it's kind of funny, like if I do a sudden movement or something and it scares her, she'll get the hiccups, and I can tell it scares her because she'll kick on one side and then she'll have the hiccups. It's really cute. They are practicing their blinking, which we saw in the ultrasound, which was, I don't know, ultrasounds are really kind of creepy to me, which is why I didn't do one of those 4D ones, because you can like see her eyes moving, and it was crazy. So yeah, oh, and the other thing they talked about is the baby is starting to move, like starting to flip side to side, practicing like moving its body and stuff, and that I can tell. She typically sits butt and back on my right side, and then feet on the left side, feet and arms. But every few days she'll kind of switch sides, but then by the end of the day she's back to the right side, so she likes my right side for whatever reason. Yep. Oh, I did learn something interesting this week. So your baby's head circumference is going to be the same size as the circumference of their hips, abs, and shoulders, I believe. Yeah, shoulders. Had to look to make sure I wasn't telling you guys a lie. But how cool is that? Like, the size of the circumference of their head is the same as those three things. Like, crazy. Mother Nature has a weird way of making things work. So anyway, that's about it for the baby. My symptoms, I am going through some pretty bad like muscle spasms when I sleep. So like when I wake up, I have the worst. I had the worst Charlie horse last week, to the point where it was in my calf. I had to stand up and walk around my apartment at like 2 in the morning just to get it to not spasm anymore. It was horrible. And then my neck has been spasming too, like just randomly it'll like just spasm. So there's that. The contractions, I'm having them daily now, and I've had a couple people ask. So Braxton Hicks, because I now have had both. So the Braxton Hicks, literally imagine like the feeling of your baby moving around, but your entire stomach just kind of tightens, and there really is no pain involved. So that's kind of the best way to describe it. And I know a lot of first-time moms are really confused on what it should feel like, and it literally does just feel like like if you're doing a crunch, when you're working out, like doing crunches, and your stomach, if you've done too much, starts spasming and stays in that contracted position. That's exactly what it feels like for Braxton Hicks. Now, a real contraction, there's a little bit more to it. There's a little bit more back pain if you have that kind of problem. There's also some pelvic pressure, and it actually, there is some pain involved. So it starts from the top and works its way down like the Braxton Hicks. You know, your whole stomach is tightened, but there's more pain involved. So if you're feeling the pain and you're having you know, in a fashion where there's a lot and they're timed, and you know, you probably should talk to your doctor. But Braxton Hicks, literally there's like no pain involved, and it just feels like you're doing a crunch even though you're sitting straight up, or you're laying down, and it just feels like your stomach just tightens. That's the best way I can describe it. So in case any first-time moms are kind of curious, that's the difference. Like when I was in the ER for contractions, my whole stomach was just pain. It was pain. Like, imagine someone just trying to like rip your muscles apart. That's what it felt like. Oh, and I have been getting like this pressure. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of a crampy, achy pressure like you would have with a menstrual period. But it feels like I got a poo, and I'm not constipated anymore, so that's not the problem. Yay. But I do feel like if I go to the bathroom, I feel like I got a poo, but it's just like a crampy, achy feeling. And my doctor did say that's kind of like a sign that the baby's starting to move further down into the pelvic region, just starting to add more pressure into that area. So there's that. I have been getting the lightning feeling where it's like, here's the other way to describe it. So imagine where your belly kind of stops, and then you have your pelvic area, and then you have your vagina. So between the pelvic flat area and the vagina, you get like this really sharp pain, and it's like a line, like down to your vagina. That's what it feels like. That's what lightning feels like. Don't listen to the internet. It's so hard to read and figure out what that really means. But that's what it is. So that also is an indication that she's starting to move down, just so you know. And then last but not least, my last symptom is nesting. I have been a nesting fool this week. And in my mind, I literally think I'm psycho. Like, I'll be doing something and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, what is the point of me doing this? For example, Sunday night, I'm sitting on my couch, typing away, writing some paper, and I look up at my TV, and all of a sudden I have this urge that I need to go through and organize my TV shelf and all the DVDs that I have. So I go in, I get rid of DVDs that I have duplicates of, because I just, yeah. So anyway, I got rid of duplicates, and then I made a spreadsheet that alphabetized them and gave a Rotten Tomato score and a description. So now, because like I was thinking, oh my gosh, what if my parents come and I go into labor and they don't know what movies I have, and like they just need quick and easy access to see what movies I have. So that was what's going on, like in my front of my mind, and the back of my mind I'm thinking, why am I doing this? This is beyond crazy. They could just look through my DVD case. I only have like 60 movies. It's really not that many. So yeah, nesting has gone a little above and beyond. I then went through my kitchen yesterday and organized all my pots and pans, and don't even ask, it was ridiculous. So nesting has been a symptom. Okay, so like I said, I have a new camera. It's called, let me get this right. It's a Sony HDR-XR160. And oh my gosh, okay, so this might be a symptom. This has only happened today though, so acid reflux again. So this camera, this is the third time. Well, I exchanged 2 other cameras already, and I didn't even like the quality. I used the one last week, and it looked just like my MacBook. So I'm like, why did I buy an HD camera if it looks like my MacBook? Probably not gonna like, you know, looking at Laura on on that. I could just walk around with my MacBook and or my iPhone and recorder. So hopefully we'll like it this week. It does look like I'm a lot clearer on the little screen, so hopefully we'll see. Okay, so let me show you the Aero Swiss, and then let me do my measurements while we're here, and then I'll show you the Aero Swiss, and then we'll be done for this week, and then hopefully I see you for week 38. So we're starting to go to the doctor every Monday, so I'm going to start doing these videos Monday nights or Tuesday nights, depending on time. But here we go. So I feel like I'm dropping still. So here's under my chest. Here's kind of like my pelvic area. Here's the side. And I still don't think I look very pregnant from the back. I don't know. Maybe I do. And the front. Let's see what we got in here. My multiple layers of shirts. So I do have the line. So here's from the front. From the side. I don't know. She might not be dropping. She's a little bit, but not too terribly much. Because, let's see. Here's the top of her body. Right here. And they did say I was measuring perfectly at the doctor this week, so. Whoop. I can't even read the tape. Okay. Looks like 30, a little over 37 and a half. Okay, maybe 38. No, because if I'm not bent over, it's not that much. 37 and a half. We'll call it 37 and a half. And that's what also makes me think I'm starting to drop, because where I measure is getting bigger and bigger, but I'm not gaining weight, so I should have been doing multiple measurements. We'll know next pregnancy. Alright, so let's go take a look at this. Boop. Here's my Aero Swiss. And this is the 7142 model. And I love it. So it's got an auto sleep button on it. There's my cat in the reflection. Taking a bath. It's warm air, hot air, or warm air and cool air. And you can mist it. So let's just turn it on here. And you can set digitally, you know, how much you want to come out. These spouts move around, so you can aim them however you want. And then, let's see here. That's warm air. This is to determine how much comes out. So that's low, medium, barely comes out, and high. And I don't know if you can tell, but it is so quiet. And then it's got this cartridge in here. These are $15, these cartridges, and you only have to replace them once every about 3 months. And then there's an ion stick in there that's like this long, and you have to replace that once a year, and it's only $30. So the maintenance on it is amazing. It's so quiet, and it's done a really good job. And as you can see, Denver humidity is just ridiculous. So that's why we got it. So anyway, we're in love. Found it on eBay. You should too. Okay, so I will see you guys for week 38, hopefully.